Good morning from New York. Today's topic: the inner self, your feeling self, your connection to it, helping create a more just and caring political change for you and yours. Now, I was insightful enough to create a title. Now, can I be intelligent enough to break this down for you? Well, your inner self is your feeling self. You know, it's where the tire meets the road. That's your dramatic self. That's the self that you usually consider to be your inner self. And of course, the mystic view is a connection, attempt to connect that inner self to a sense of your higher power, which I say is either your brain or filtered through it. So, and when you're connected in a feeling way to your real feelings, uh, not symbolic ones, due to damaged faith and love, then you're more real with yourself, and you're more real with your own needs, and that helps you to have empathy and care for others around you, you know, in a truly helpful way. You want to love your kids, you spend time with them, you don't just bake them an apple pie. Yeah. Which should be rarely done, considering the effects of sugar, which is quite the addiction of a very addicted society. And that addiction gets in the way of meeting real needs. And so you're addicted to those symbols of need that were blocked. Your ability to feel those needs was blocked by trauma in your life, by adverse childhood experiences, or especially there in your developmental stages, very impacting your damaged faith and love. Yeah, that causes, your brain is trying to protect you from overwhelming feelings of helplessness, and so it gives you symbolic need to replace the needs that you couldn't meet at that time. You couldn't, and therefore could not feel. To feel those needs and be helpless about meeting them would be overwhelming and very bad for your health. So the symbolic needs jump in and replace that with more attainable symbols, which kind of tells your body to relax. Relax, we got this. When really you don't. And it becomes an addiction because symbolic need, you can't fill. There's no satiation point. It just keeps going and going. And one big problem with it is greed and power mongering, which means that you want to be a dictator. So that's hello, Trump. How you doing, buddy? Is that you? Yeah, I think so. Poor thing. Poor little weak guy. Morally and even physically weak, Just poor little fellow. And getting old like me. Must be tough, Trump. Must be tough. Yeah. Heart goes out to you, and I hope you lose the election. You might learn something finally about that. Anyway, but let me talk to you, my sane audience. Yeah. So, finding and expressing the real you, which is connected to your real feelings. Without your real feelings, it's not really the real dramatic self, the real you. So as you connect to those feelings and express them that you couldn't do before because of helplessness and the anxiety it brings, and because of the symbolizing the various addictions, you can't feel those, you couldn't feel those things, but by using empathy, forms of empathy, forms of love from different perspectives, and some greater connection to your sensations and feelings through focus and play and expression, you are able to unlearn the helplessness and see the real need behind the symbols, and to actually not see it but feel it. You can understand that it's there and still not be well. So you have to feel it and learn that helplessness so that you have a real connection to those blocked needs, so that you can realize they are actually losses, so that you can grieve them, let them go, become a more forgiving person, and find the remorse for the things, the ways in which the hurt in you hurt others, and then the realization that you're no longer the person who did that. And that makes you a healthier part of the politics in your local community and your national and world community. And doing that, well, that kind of politics is going to benefit you and your loved ones, because it helps more people get in touch with their real needs, and helps politics to be aimed toward meeting real needs of people, not just satisfying of the greed of stockholders, but real human need. When you're separated from that real human need, then that's where you wander off into problems. And so you don't pay attention to existential threats to your own species from global warming. You lose real ability to connect to objectivity, creativity, and compassion, which are ways of meeting human needs, which I've addressed before in the past. So you change the politics. Well, when you change that politics, when you start gearing away from the defensive, which is part of how you are when you're out of touch with your real self. You're in pain, you know. You don't, it's, you don't realize it, but your system is in pain. It's in anxiety. And that anxiety makes you very defensive. That's why we have these this power mongering and greed and this love of war that we seem to have. You know, self-centeredness that keep us from doing the best we could as a species. So, yeah, that would mean less investment in war, more investment in healthcare, better nurturing for your future kids and grandkids, and better care for you in your old age. And wow, yeah, because we have in the United States, for instance, we have the greatest military the world has ever known. But if we could bring down the temperature around the world just a little, and not just physically, which is important, but also stop global warming, but also the problem of war, the loss of the ability to love one another as human beings, one human family. Our boundaries and borders and whatnot make it easy for us to think our nation is the only important one, or the most important one, and our family the most important, of course, and ourself the most important. Well, that kind of is a part of that defensiveness, which feeds the desire and need to promote war, taking things by force. Hello, Putin. Xi Jinping. And, well, there's other kinds of force, so the United States too, sometimes. We've got to cool down the temperature. Like I said, our globe, our world, our Earth, and we all got to dial down the temperature of the violence, the hot-headedness of people around the world. And unless we can do that anywhere, then we have a lot of, we're in a forest with a lot of people with matches and who get pressured and start becoming defensive and light that match, and then everybody suffers. You look at World War I, and this rather small event brought the world to war, or a big part of it, and World War II, which was even worse. That was the punitive attitude, which is the bad part of religion. That punitive attitude toward Germany after World War I is what gave us the Nazi movement. And wow. So we got to cool down the temperature, get people to quit investing in matches like the military and pollution. And so when we do that, we actually do wonderful things, even for ourselves and our immediate families. That's just common sense. Well, I think I've said enough, and I'm going to let this go. Have any questions? Feel free to ask. We will be expanding the channel with more than one talking head, hopefully soon. And we would like to be a voice for you and for your real needs, and a voice for peace in the world and democracy. That's so very important. Without that, your inner practice is limited. It's harder to do personal growth in a society that doesn't meet real needs. And it's hard to have a society that doesn't meet real needs unless the individuals in it know what theirs are. It's called voting in your own interests. Vote Democratic if you're in the United States. Anyway, that's well, we only have two choices. We've discussed that before. We'll discuss it again, no doubt. But it's very important to change the politics around you in your society, and so on, which helps you to grow, and your growth will help others around you. So it all works together. I'm a terrible singer, but I love to sing this Irish blessing when I get done with my presentations. Take it with a bit of humor. Jack Benny, a famous comedian of long ago, tried to get people to listen to him play his violin terribly. So that was the joke. So this is my joke, and but I love the Irish blessing. It's really beautiful. So, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So here it goes. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again. Right here on this channel, do subscribe. May God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand, or its hand, yeah. So, and I like to finish with a word that means an honoring of what unites us all in the love flow. And that's, that word is namaste. So, Make a great day. And I would like to honor all of us with the word Namaste.